I assumed that Antwerp would be incredibly hard. And I was right. I already said this weeks ago, right? If you put Premium on the same day as Standard, you're gonna have all the like most try-hard long-time players forced to cannibalize each other, while D will have like mostly new players. Now, with exceptions of course, but like mostly. So Premium will have like these tiny events where people are just destroying each other with like the best decks. And we saw that happening. We literally saw, if you look at like the top of California and the top of Belgium. Top of Belgium was just full try-hard stacks. And then California was like a couple of them, but not nearly as many. So I knew that if I were to bring Grand Blue and I was gonna go into teams full of like, you know, the big contenders, I was gonna get destroyed. Like it would be impossible. I'm glad I went for my choice, because holy fucking shit, that was stacked. I mean, we can go over the matchups in a bit, but I only faced, like almost only faced people with like a shitloads of tops, or Worlds invites, or both, or BRO wins, like all of that shit, but we'll get to it later. So right here, very excited for this one, we have my prize card collection. I mean, at least these are the prize cards that I've won myself, because I also own prize cards that I just bought because I wanted them, or to like max out decks, but these are prize cards that I've gotten from winning events and qualifying Worlds and all of that good stuff. Right after I flex these, I'm gonna go into the matchups. So I'll go into matchups, and then I'll go also over the top lists we've seen, over discussion on how everything is looking. To put them in order, it was this that I won with NLK, first place BCS France. Then I got this for qualifying Worlds, which was, well, the same event essentially. So like you got first place, you get a prize card. You got 1, 2, or 3, meaning you get to go to Worlds. So at Worlds, you get this prize card. Then we got first place with our Team Cardiff, which we called ourselves this time. So Mo, Jay, and I got first place with this, also exciting. Then got these two. This is for winning. So if you get first place at SPRINGFEST Premium, you get the Malkut Melek. I know some people were like talking shit about like, oh, it's the 2020 prize card, like blah blah blah, but like these look, in my opinion, way better than these. Like I have both now, right? And these are cool because the texture is like SP-like, but these are like full art. So even though this card is like, you know, it's Malkut, it's not insanely powerful, but like the full art is just beautiful. But so you get this for first, and you get this for first, second, and third. So if you get top 3, you get yourself a really sweet prize card, and if you get first place, you get another one. And then after that, we got the V Premium one. So if you get first, you get this one, again like the nice full art from the 2020. Basically, these were the prize cards that we were supposed to get if 2020 SPRINGFEST ever happened. And then this is for the 1, 2, 3. It's so beautiful. Full art beats SP. Yeah, like full art, it's something else entirely. I really love these. Alrighty, so enough of the light flexing here. Let's go into matchups, you know, just how the event went and so forth. Like obviously the event was great. Like seeing all the homies back was huge. Of course, remote, I appreciate it. Like having SPRINGFEST online, having BRO, it was good. Not having it would have been awful for the game, but the ability to hang out with people, have fun, actually play face to face, like all of that is just so much better. I'll be doing a deck profile for this in the future, not right now. I kind of want to vibe now, because you know my deck profiles are always like a fucking hour. So the matchup, first round, I come up against Dark Irregular. This opponent was Chris something, I don't know his last name, sorry. Part of Team Offline Gaming. So Chris is a Worlds player. He qualified Worlds last year by getting second at BCS Germany, topped before that, I believe, as well. Then his teammate is Dave Vecht, who won BRO. Third in another one? I don't know, like he dominated BRO. Actually lost to Dave on stream in BRO, because I got grade stuck and he more fessed me while I was at grade 2. So Dave, but regardless of that hilarious match, Dave is a really strong player. Third in another one and won one. Yeah, like Dave dominated BRO. Really strong player. Anyway, DI, I miss my G assist. And then I just stay, like I turtle, you know? And then he rides up. After I rode up, like finally I get my stuff together. He has no barrow, so I feel pretty safe. I play around to hope on damp, and then on his last drive check, he finds a barrow. Now with that being said, he's a good player, but you know, missing the G assist and then G assisting after that, and like, you know, it was a bit of a clown fiesta on my end, just the deck shitting the bed. That wasn't a good start. And then the barrow, you know, came in clutch last minute there. So then I went up against Highlander Bermuda. I don't really remember that well. I believe I stunned him just with Gridora and then he had to ride Katire or something like that. Because if you think about it, Highlander doesn't have like that many good ride targets. Blessed last 3 rounds. Yes, we'll get to that. Then I went up against Order Colony. I misrode. I just missed my ride like a little bitch. And then I had to go into Overwhelm. After that, I stabilized. I don't want to get into like too much of the strat stuff, but all the people saying you only spam Gridora are out. And then we went up against Dolls. I faced 3 Dolls, as you can see. There's basically 2 brothers. Everyone knows them. They're French brothers that top all the time. Been to Worlds, top every fucking event ever. Like they're just super dominant. Back before the UK became like a competitive powerhouse in Vanguard, France was the competitive powerhouse in Europe in Vanguard, and it was because of those 2 and then a few more people. The Mahuto or brothers or something, or Mahuto. That team is just super powerful because it was those 2 brothers and Cyril. Yes, Togen, of course. Yes, it was MASH. And then we went into Top Cut. First, the French team. Again, a billion tops. Some of the strongest players in Europe easily. Like, I can count the amount of players that I don't want to face on 2 hands, like, in the world, right? And don't want to face not in a mean way, but in a, like, oh, fuck, this is gonna be hard way. Like, on 2 hands, I can count them, and those 2 brothers are in there, easily. They're really, really good at the game. I then won against him. That game was pretty close. And then the finals game was against Kalen. We don't talk about that. Well, we're talking about it right now. Their 3rd member was Cyril. Yeah. Also, incredible player. Especially because he will take spikes, like, almost every time and do well almost every time. Try and find someone who does that, like, regardless of how good it is. And usually Spikes, okay, I gotta give like some nuance here. Spikes has usually been like at least competitively viable. Like, they will always have like some build that's still good, but still, like, he will consistently top every fucking time with Spike, at least in Premium. I know in Standard he has played other stuff, like I've seen him top with he qualified Worlds as well with Hyuga last time. So yeah, super strong team, the French team. And then against Kalen, so that was Team Brexit, Kalen, Hal, and Hamish. Again, strong team. Kalen has won every fucking V event ever, and only every really good player. Like, unironically, it's very rare to find players that you play against and that you like run the game back in your head and you go like, damn, this guy never misplayed. And Kalen usually never misplays. Yeah, very strong player as well overall. And yeah, then we got 1st place in Premium that way. So I went X1 the entire day, though again, like, with only 4 rounds in Swiss and 2 rounds in top, the entire day is not as big. But yeah, this 1 round, the first one, there's really not much I could have done to change getting like fully NLK barrowed. We got that 1st place Premium SPRINGFEST. I know I've seen some people meme, especially Americans, about like only 9 teams here. We fucking won Cardiff with 400 people in that room, and this one was harder. I don't know what else to say. We went over matchups just now, and like half of them were people with multi-tops and Worlds invites. Every round felt like a finals in Antwerp. Yeah, absolutely. Like, it was really tough. I'd prefer the Cardiff 9-round treatment personally. So V-Ride here. So we go into the matchups here. So first match was against Night Rose. I just did Ange plays. I went first. I think I missed Rosa, and so I just played like I never rode a Prism Vert. Then Poets. Then we had Yasue. That was MASH again? Was it MASH? I think so. Then Raging Form. Raging Form was my most tilting game. Raging Form, holy shit. This was again the Chris guy. So funnily enough, the only way I can be stopped this weekend is Chris with some shit. So this was the same team with the guy from Worlds last year and Dave, BRO champion. I'm on grade 2, 1 damage. I think I'm chilling. Nothing's gonna go wrong. My guy rides Raging Form Dragon. He attacks. I think, okay, cool. Crit. I'm like, oh, kinda spooky. I don't know what to do now. You know, I'm on grade 2. I have 3 grade 3s in my hand or something. I guard for a 2-2 pass going, there's no way he's gonna risk this. And, you know, we'll see. So 2-2 pass, he goes crit again. I go from like, with a rear guard attack, from 1 to 7 in 1 turn of crit. Look, maybe it's a skill issue. Maybe it was a skill issue. But I will just say that game was some BS. Though we could both laugh about it. You know, despite the BS that happened in that game, he is a good player, like, unironically. Has the accolades to back it up and so forth. Also really nice guy. Just draw the out. Yeah, should have just drawn the out. And then finally, I versed Messiah. Then in Top Cut, I faced against Chris again. And this time, it was my time. you know, to sack him back. On turn 3, I opened double Pearl Sister. So my ladies, my girlfriends right here, don't tell my girlfriend, but these two girlfriends right here, they were just in my hand. I just called them out. How the turntable, that's right. So that was fun. And then a Vanquisher, final round. This guy was a beast. And so this guy had gotten second place in Overdress the day before, and now was in finals again in V. Better than that though, at the time of me going up against him, he was either 13-0 or 14-0. Across 2 days, he was undefeated. Yeah? Can you imagine how insane that is on Overdress and V? The two formats that, sorry, are more variance reliant. Like, that is insane fucking good player. And I saw that in his play as well. Like, really, really insane player. So it was actually really tough. It ended up relying on a 1-2 pass where he only had one drive check. And he didn't end up getting it. So it was like a 66-ish% chance for me to win and a 33 for him. And that was the bet I had to make right then and there. And then we ended up winning. So I did have to break his streak of 13-0 or 14-0. But a really nice player, really strong player. They were previously like hyper competitive buddy fight players, and then when buddy fight, you know, ended sadly, they swapped over to Vanguard and then started, you know, doing well there. Finals twice must be coincidence. That's right, Vanguard is a luck game, guys. The same teams being, you know, in finals, that's just all luck. As you can see from my matchups here, V wasn't quite as stacked in terms of deck choices as the day before. Like the premium matchups, you can see like, holy fucking shit, everyone's just going ham, except for maybe DI. Like maybe DI is more on the side. But here, like there's a few more decks where you're like, okay, this is maybe tier 2. I would say Yasue, while still strong, is probably tier 2. Vanquisher, while really strong, is probably tier 2. I would argue Raging Form is even tier 2. I think Raging Form right now, both in Cali and Belgium, got tops because people don't really know the deck just yet. Raging Form is really cool though. Like I started the game with Raging Form, so I do have like a bit of a connection with the deck, but I feel like it's also a lot of people not really knowing what the matchup is. What was your favorite fight out of both days? My game against... I hate that I don't know their first names. Like Maito, I don't know how to pronounce, but you have Teo and then you have... I don't know names. Look, okay, it's story time. Anecdote time. There's Little Solemn. It's 2016 or 17. Little Solemn, you know, does well in the locals sometimes. And now he thinks he's part of the big leagues. And he goes to regionals. Oh, regionals. There you can top, can get prize cards maybe, or qualify continentals, get top mats. You have all these pros there. I've seen them, you know, on different fights channel, like all these pros. I go to the event. I think I'm still hot shit, you know, like I win locals, dude. I'm so fucking insanely good. I also read stuff online, so I must be really good at the game. And I get absolutely blasted, absolutely fucking destroyed. And who do I see in tops? It's Jay, it's Lubo, and it's those same French guys every fucking time. And I wonder why? Why is it always them? They must just be luckier. They must be so fucking lucky. And me, I'm just unlucky. And that is the only difference. Those two guys, I go to another regionals. Who's in the tops? It's Jay again. And those two guys, what is going fucking on? Okay, Pierre, that's it. Alright, yeah, Pierre and Theo. Okay, there we go. Really strong players. Before the format split, France was like the uncontested strongest country in European Vanguard. Obviously, you had strong players a bit everywhere. Like Jay and his team was German and so forth. Liobo was from the Netherlands. But in terms of like concentration of high-topping players, it was only France. France was just dominant. And then the format split happened, and then you start getting like more strong players in other areas as well. Like UK really grew. So I versed Theo then. So yeah, my game with him was probably my most interesting game of the weekend. It was against Nightmare Dolls, and I had actually lost to him playing Pale Moon at BCS France like 3 years ago. So he has been playing Pale Moon like for a long time. We had Team Cardiff, us in first place, Big Hype, Order Colony, Regalia, Nightmare Dolls. And then we had SBTCG, Brexit, Copium. So they had Nightmare Dolls, Order Colony, Grand Blue. Both very strong comps. I considered this as well, but Mo only plays United Sanctuary. So here we go. Then we had Nightmare Dolls, Order Colony, and Shirayuki. Shirayuki definitely a bit more rogue. And then we had the French team right here. Theo and Pierre and Cyril. Powerful team. Nightmare Dolls, Greedon Rising, and Grand Blue. This is a bit more surprising. Like, of course, Cyril is always going to play Spike Bros and then top every single event ever. First list. Oh, that's a cool one. That's my list. Nothing much to say, really. Like, I plan on just doing a deck profile in the future. We have a Regalia, most Regalia. Mo will always do stuff that no one else agrees with or sees coming, and then he will go undefeated or almost undefeated in the event. And then it's basically like, what? Are you gonna argue? You're gonna argue, really? He did the same in Cardiff 3 years ago. He was playing like OTT, itchy of course, but he put in the actual Oracle package. And then everyone else was on like Rio's build, like with Panatone and stuff, and Bobo. And his build, in my opinion, was infinitely better. But no one copied him, except for me. I straight up went like, okay, Mo, you figured out the best OTT build. I'm gonna copy it, then change some things, because, you know, we can't agree on everything. But the overall idea of running that Oracle engine was genius. And yeah, he'll always do weird stuff that not everyone necessarily agrees with. And then he'll win. One Night Mist, the spiciest of the spicy. And then I want to say it's pretty close to my BRO list. He swapped out Pony for this guy, which makes a lot of sense. I did the same. Pony isn't as good as just having, you know, a shit Grenache. 2 Colombard. He is a Chad. Okay, so I gotta say this. Hal is in the church of 2 Colombard. You know, if you want your Grand Blue deck to be more consistent, you only play 2 Colombard instead of 4 or 3. 2 Colombard is how you top with Grand Blue. And so he did. He understands what's good. So Jesse, that's different from what I did. So that's cool to see. We also see a Navigator. Very cool to add the potential of the aggression together with that second Nitros. Double Bone, going even harder on the bounty turn. We have Uyula, Bell if you're terrified of Narukami. So this is Hamish, pretty similar to what I ran. I think most Order Colony lists are pretty similar. There's like only a few tech slots that you really have to work with. Ash's Nightmare Doll list is the 3rd place. Shirayuki is Michael's. So Michael Winley got 3rd place, I want to say, in Antwerp. Honestly, I don't really know how good Shirayuki is. I know there's like a 4CB crazy play. The Mega list you shown was a 3rd place team. Oh, okay, my bad. Then next we have the Greedon Rising of Cyril. A good thing we can't get confused here. Like with everyone having Order Colony and Nightmare Dolls, it's pretty easy to mess up who was running what. Right here, we have Cyril's Greedon Rising. Well, I don't know if it's Greedon Rising, because with only 2 Greedon, you're not gonna see it that much either. Oh, you do have the ways to search it, though. The write-up can be, like, huge. And it also has, like, more plays afterwards. Then, Pierre's Grand Blue right here. Also the Night Mist, 1 Nitros, 4 Colombard, 1 Jesse, 3 Greed Shade. 1 Sea Strolling is very interesting to me, because, like, its max value is when you ride it, and it's like its milling rush is in the grade 2 game, but there's only 1 in here. Though I suppose it is like just 1 more card to add to the critical mass of early game cards. You don't necessarily need to see the 1. First place team, definitely one of the strongest like lineups. We have Gravidia, which is the mommy. WCC had a very strong showing in BRO. Very like controversial pick Prison, because when the set 4 format first came up, everyone said Prison broken, Prison the deck, Prison best deck, Prison gonna destroy everything. And then for a while it did, everyone was playing it. But then it fell off. Because turns out when Magnolia has end picks, you know, you're starting to feel a bit worse. And so Magnolia started like taking over everything. But now in teams where you, statistically speaking, can't face Magnolia all the time, we suddenly see Prison pop up again. Gravidia, Prison, Magnolia might be a strong lineup. Then we have a French team right here. So this is the team that got 2nd in V Premium as well. We have Nirvana, Bastion, and Gravidia. This is very left field. Like, I did not expect this type of lineup to do this well. Like, this first one makes a lot of sense to me. And if you had like changed this Prison or this Gravidia into a Bastion, maybe a Barrow in there or something, you know, I would be like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. You could see that happening. But they weren't just like, fuck it. No Magnolia, no Prison. We're We're playing in Nirvana, just balls to the walls, but it worked for them. Then we had Bastion, Prison, Magnolia. Again, this is a lineup that makes a lot of sense. You know, some people say Bastion isn't that great. Other people say Bastion is insane. WGP results seem to like flip-flop constantly, but Magnolia and Prison being mainstays makes a lot of sense. And then fourth place, I don't know what's going on. Like this Overlord Duckbill the Blaster. That is, this is something. Like this team lineup, lots of respect. We have a Flagberg, a Loro, and a Zorga. I don't know. Like Zorga, secretly pretty good against Gravidia. Loro, you know, still solid. In set 3, it was a, like, arguably maybe best deck together with Bruce. Maybe Gravidia was actually, but you know. And then Flagberg, you know, pure Gravidia. Double of this one. This is a very weird list to me. A lot of people swear by the on-hit, and I don't see the on-hit in here, but I haven't, like, tested the on-hit even. Some people just say it has to be in there. Others say it's I haven't made up my mind. But 2 of this one, 3 of the, what's his name? Stanner. And then 2 of the draw. Interesting that people are going back to pure. Yeah, maybe they just don't feel like the rush is that worth it anymore. On-hit is main, pure, good in world. I haven't tried it, so I don't actually know. Next, we have the prison list. 4 of the promo, obviously. World over pure. I'm still playing world, but I don't know if it's actually good. I haven't tested it. Might change everything. 4 and 1. And then 3 of the green hair girl right here. Then we have Magnolia. Oh, it's Zorgnolia. The 4 inlet, 1 off. I don't see anything too different here. Only 2 end picks is very brave. Well, like with 2 end picks, I would constantly be terrified. Nirvana right here. So this is the team who had Nirvana, Bastion, and what else? Was it Gravidia or Magnolia? He only had 2? Oh, wow. Okay, I'm legit wondering where all the barrows are. I don't know. This is the undefeated Nirvana. Oh, so this is the guy that I played Vanquisher against then. Yeah, this is very blingy. Though, is there not like a full art of this or like a congrats or so? Oh yeah, is there? Valiente based? Yeah, very, very spicy blinged out list right here. Then we have the Bastion. And then we have the 3 Lagrel. Always good to see. Next, we have another Gravidia. Once again, pure. Once again, 2 of this and none of the on-hit. 2, 1, 4, 3. Huh? Oh, just a shit ton of meteors. Okay. Next, we have another Bastion. This time with 2 Lagrel instead of the 3. Playing Fossad, I assume to be not afraid of prison. That worked out for them because there was a few prison in Top Cut. Then we have another Seraph. This time with 4 of the Cyan Girl. Shergo is good in pure because of deck out. Yeah, I'm aware. Again, I've only played World, so I haven't really tested what's like optimal in there. Another Zorgnolia. Oh, with this deer thing as a one-off. Never seen that before. 4 end picks. So this guy didn't want the stress of only running 2. Then we had the Flagberg right here. So again, I don't know how Flagberg did well. If it doesn't get its persona right, it's just not incredible, but he did it. So again, it's always like a question mark in teams whether their win rate was good or not. No, it's not 2 PG. It's 2 here and 2 here. So I assume it's 2 hollow and 2 rare. Then we have the Loro. Wow, this person has money. Oh, yeah, of course you top. With that kind of money, how can you not, right? 4 Zorga. All right, 4 of the Dragon. Boy, imagine if he was bigger. 4 Cloak, 2 of the Neo Nectar, Resource Girl, 4 of this, 4 of this. Nothing too, like, mind-blowing in this lineup. This I'm not sure about, but again, I haven't really touched Zorga in a while. I've only upgraded Gravidia to set 4 and barely played it because I knew we had just V and Premium for 2 events, and then after that we could test into V. We had a Team Cardiff in first place, Prism, Uranus, Nitros. I don't remember how many teams there were for V. Was it 19 or something like that? The French team right here with the undefeated Vanquisher until finals. And the weirdest thing here, the Dauntless. I saw a lot of people go wild over the Dauntless. From what I know, he went 2-5. And again, not talking shit on the player, like the deck isn't like that crazy good. But so it's not like Dauntless is like this secret, insane, crazy deck, you know. It did end up winning in the finals though. But yeah, no, it's a Vanquisher player going entirely undefeated, and then Prism also being very strong. Oh yeah, Blue Lock. So this is once again the French team with Theo, Pierre, Cyril. I believe it was Pierre on Raging and Theo on Prism. And then it was Cyril on Mura? Cyril, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Cyril can literally top with anything. I could give him token Ranbu in premium and he will top. He will go to Worlds and he will clap some cheeks. That's what Serial does. And then finally we have Offline Gaming. Again, Dave, BRO, winner, topper, like Chris, godly Worlds player. And then the third, I just don't know him well enough. Like, I don't know how well he has done in the past. Well done regardless. So going over some lists. First of all, we have this one. What a beautiful list. Now, Kai here liked to talk shit. Called it greedy. That's okay. Wrong opinions are still opinions. And then we have the poets list of Mo. I don't know how typical this is. I think it's pretty different from your usual poets list. Again, Mo will just do whatever the hell he wants and top every time. That's just how he is. Some opinions are more equal than others. Jay's Grand Blue list right here. Now, I saw Chris put him on the hot stove on stream. After his win, Chris went, "Why are you playing Tommy? I love Seas trolling so much. Why are you playing Tommy?" Play VR and SP Ange for Highlander. I'd smooch Jay, so I'm allowed to ask. Yeah, of course. Gotta see the heals against boats. Early Tommy is lit. Yeah, we have the Vanquisher list. So I don't know much about like Naru and how it's like built optimally or anything. Then we have the Dauntless. Don't consider my opinion on red clans. Including this one. I have no idea what I'm looking at. Me when the clan is red. Exactly. I have no idea what any of these cards do. The only ones I know here are the ones that were in the Blade Master deck. So we see this thing. I remember this from like early on. I vaguely remember this. I know this guy. Everything else is a mystery. Have you read Lawkeeper? Yeah, I read all the clan collection cards like around release. And then anything that I was like, I'll never build this and I'll never face this, I like put away in a dark corner somewhere in my mind. And now it's floating there. And if I ever need it, I'll try and grab it. But for now, I haven't. Next, we have the Prism list. Second place team, I guess. Nothing super surprising here. Just an extra one of the Pushback Girl. The new grade 2 for extra consistency. Like finding all of your other stuff by discarding and checking top 3. I think most people, when they saw Prism getting hit, assumed that this would be, you know, the list. This type of deal. They saw the new cards. They were like, okay, we no longer have Ellie. What else is high quality that we can mash in there? And this is like probably close to what you would get. Maybe you would be playing like an extra Aqua. Maybe one less of this or maybe one less of this. Something like that. Next, we have another Prism list. Again, pretty similar to the previous one, but this time with 2 Nectaria for higher consistency of finding your actual Prism names. And then 2 Nikita, knowing that you'll only get to resolve 1 if you want like the full effect. And then 2 of this girl, 2 of this girl. So a bit of a split to send back heals. So this is Mura right here. Again, it's a red clan. I can't give you more than that. Next up, we have the Raging Form list of Pierre. Also nicely maxed out. Well, not entirely maxed, but, you know, blinged out, let's say. So we have our 4 Fall, 4 Raging Form, only 2 Branwen, I guess because it's not a Revenger name. Then we have a really nice split on the PGs between SP and Judge promo. Okay, this is another Raging Form list. This time with 1 Danger Lunge. Who was it that was always hyping 1 Danger Lunge? Was that Kai? Was Kai hyping 1 Danger Lunge in Raging Form? And then next up, we have the Gears list from Dave. Again, Dave, very solid player. He won BRO Premium and then got 3rd in... not Premium, I think. Was it V? Fully blinged out. What was really funny was he was the Seed B player and Mo was also the Seed B player. And so these were like 2 guys essentially going, fuck the meta. I'm gonna play my favorite clan, max rarity. I put $1,000 into this deck and now I'm gonna bash this other guy, his Skullin, who also is playing his $1,000 off meta deck. And that was just the battle of the ancients. So yeah, as you can see, you have the ASR Chrono Jets. Is it VSR or whatever? This was just all fancy bling. SPs just beautifully maxed. And Mo then also had like his prize